been political. People tell me that it's making me a prisoner. You like voting, do you? I'm doing me, I ain't concerned about what you do. People fighting over politics. Hit the streets 50 deep, start rioting. Man, see, I don't know a lot, but I know enough to know there's rules and whatnot. If you make the wrong move, then you probably getting shot. And I ain't talking about a stranger, I'm talking about the cops. Shit's tearing my country apart. Watching the fucking news and I don't know where to start. I wanna get this up, but I know I ain't got the heart. My future is not certain, my moves gotta be smart. But how I'm supposed to win with a government full of sharks? I'm trying to feed my babies and the war's about to start. I don't know what's wrong with this world. I be thinking I don't belong in this world. Sometimes I don't wanna be a part of this world. Feeling like I wasn't supposed to be on this world. I don't know what's wrong with this world. I be thinking I don't belong on this world. Sometimes I don't wanna be a part of this world. Feeling like I wasn't supposed to be on this world. I think differently, and we can't get along if we don't have the right chemistry. I'm not content with my existence. Another man's decision could ruin my way of living. The mental and physical abuse given to women. Terrified, don't wanna die, then you kill them. Afraid the situation's beyond my control, and it isn't gonna change till my children are grown. There's a ceiling that most of us are never gonna reach. Terrible human beings are just laying on the beach, enjoying the fruits of labor they never had to complete. And you got these single mothers and they struggling to eat. Glorify celebrities, rotten to the core. Paparazzi taking shots of them shopping at the store, while countries are getting bombed, world wars at your door. All this prejudice and racism, man, what for? I don't know what's wrong with this world. I be thinking I don't belong in this world. Sometimes I don't wanna be a part of this world. Feeling like I wasn't supposed to be on this world. I don't know what's wrong with this world. I be thinking I don't belong on this world. Sometimes I don't wanna be a part of this world. Feeling like I wasn't supposed to be on this world. Now I ain't perfect or nothing, but at least I move around with a purpose for something. People walking around blind, it's like an insane asylum, got people losing their minds. Everybody fucking each other, and 90% of them ain't in love with each other. Committing adultery, yeah, I'm guilty of it. Like I said, I ain't perfect or nothing. And some of us grow, some of us get worse. Some of us fall off, and the shit hurts. Some of us die, and that's the worst. I made a lot of fucking stupid decisions, but I learned. Niggas get out of prison just to get back in it. Baby mama drama for days dealing with rap bitches. Call them homies and friends who had your back really. Then when you finally need them, who turn their back really? I don't know what's wrong with this world. I be thinking I don't belong in this world. Sometimes I don't wanna be a part of this world. Feeling like I wasn't supposed to be on this world. I don't know what's wrong with this world. I be thinking I don't belong on this world. Sometimes I don't wanna be a part of this world. Feeling like I wasn't supposed to be on this world.
I guess my question is, do you think it's too late for me?
What?
I mean, am I just doomed to be the person that I am? The person in that book? It's not too late for me, is it? It's not too late. Diane, I need you to tell me that it's not too late.
Bojack,
I need you to tell me that I'm a good person. I know that I can be selfish and narcissistic and self-destructive, but underneath all that, deep down, I'm a good person, and I need you to tell me that I'm good. Diane? Tell me, please, Diane, tell me that I'm good.
Yeah. 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 I knew this day was coming eventually. Don't cry for me, everybody dies. Remember me for finding a remedy for depression and misery. I'll always be alive if I live in your memory. And when you feeling sad, play the song and come visit me. Your happiness is still the greatest gift you could give to me. You gave me the energy that created the symphonies. My life became a sacrifice, I knew it was meant to be. And sadly now my time's up. I knew my fate before I signed up. Promise me you'll never let your mind shut. Wipe away your tears, 20 years was a blessing. I left you with my seed, now I leave you with this message. Turn the other cheek when you feeling disrespected. If love is what you seek, when you get it, don't neglect it. And if you have a dream, then your job is to protect it. Don't be afraid to speak when you dealing with depression. I know that deep down we all searching for acceptance, trying to fill the hole that's inside us we was left with, wanting to be perfect when we know there's no perfections, but we think it's necessary for a deep connection. Love each other, fuck your skin color and complexion. Our differences is only just a matter of perspective. Be kind of one another even when it's not requested, and always be yourself even when the world rejects it. X.
What's happening, people? What's going on? Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. I know, 2 days in a row. I figured, I missed Monday, so I'll make up for it and just keep on schedule for Wednesday. I'm a little bit late today just because, things got started a little bit later. I think I woke up around like 11:30, 12 o'clock, and then just kind of piled around with the family for a little bit, and then went out and bought gas, got some food, because, I don't know what's going to happen with this whole gas situation. So I figured I'd top off, my tank, and it should last me a while. Because, I don't drive, all the time, and, I don't drive just to drive, especially right now. So, I figured with the full tank of gas, it should last me maybe, a month or two, and see where things are around that time. It sucks, man. Like, shit's just screwed up right now. It really is. Let me go ahead and switch over to live screen here. Oh, what's happening? What's going on? Let me bring up the chat. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to announce today. There's really not much that wasn't expected. It's always good. Like, we're in the money right now. Yesterday when we logged off, the account was sitting at about $3,400. Early this morning when we were up a little bit more, I think the account peaked at around $4,150. So not too shabby. Like I said, if these trades can continue up, we're going to be past 100%. Over the past couple of weeks here, and you love to see it. Man, Fish always does something as soon as the stream starts. I don't know what he's got under the couch, but I might have to go in a second and get that for him. Bro, where can I find this song on Spotify? As always, in the description of the video, there is a link to a playlist that from now on, any songs I play at the beginning or the end of the live streams, I will be adding to that playlist. Win 0.886 at 10,600 yellow. Is win a coin? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. I don't day trade anymore, only long-term swing trades, but great to see you live. Awesome, man. That's the way to do it. I've been telling people, I was like, stop playing the smaller time frames. It's just asking for disaster. So, that's pretty much what I've been doing the past couple of weeks is just playing the longer-term time frames. I shorted the market once Bitcoin gave us this setup right here. I didn't short Bitcoin itself, but I did short an altcoin to make a little bit of extra capital. And then, I just patiently waited until we put in a nice ABC structure, and I am still in this trade. This is the same exact long trade I've been sitting in for, let's see, I entered exactly right here. It's been 2 weeks pretty much. I've been sitting in the same long trade. Now, like I said, doesn't deny me the opportunity to take these hedge shorts to the downside when price action calls for them. And I'm still pretty bullish on the market. I mean, it really does make sense. I was watching Louder with Crowder today. Hey, I like watching them because I think they are entertaining. I don't necessarily agree with all their ideas because they had a pretty bad take today on crypto. Basically saying, like, how do you guys feel about crypto right now? Like, it's down. You guys thought it couldn't be regulated, but here we are. And of course it can be, it can't be regulated in the sense like they can shut it down. But if you have a US based exchange, they can shut off that on-ramp. And if you are holding your money on that US based exchange, they can shut off that account. But there's nothing, absolutely nothing they can do against, if you have a hardware wallet, not a ledger, of course, just a regular hardware wallet, or, privatized crypto sales, whatever it might be. So, like I said, I mean, I usually I like to watch them just because, I think they're entertaining and it's something to watch, but that was a terrible take on crypto today from them. So hopefully they fix their ideology on that. And the reason being is, past couple of this week, you've been seeing a lot of news articles about the Russian ruble being stomped by our sanctions and the actions that we have taken towards Russia. Correct? So if we just go look up Russian ruble, if we just look up Russian ruble, you'll see, pretty much all these headlines, how Putin destroyed the ruble. You're going to see nothing but ruble stinks, ruble. That's all it is. But if anything hasn't changed in the past couple of hours, I would say the ruble is doing pretty damn well today, which is very weird, right? Despite the fact that we just, canceled their oil sales on the U.S., pretty much it's back to where it started from before this whole thing even transpired. And you're not going to hear that in the news, are you? Only people that have, the common sense to go look for themselves on a chart what the Russian ruble is doing is going to see that. So there's a very good chance that we see the US dollar get debased, and you're going to see the US fight back in a way that is going to seem vicious to maintain that integrity, that structure. And I have no clue what that means or what's going to happen. As always, there's no definitive answer on how this is going to go. It's place your bets, use good risk management, and ride out the storm. So, I mean, crypto has been my bet so far, and it will continue to be. So, here's what it is. I have no words. It's just I like how it's look over here, don't pay attention to this constantly. And this right here should just be straight facts put in your face. That despite us banning Russian energy and all these sanctions, it bounced back just like that. Looking forward to the second half of the stream when you start talking about psychedelics, alien life forms again. As always. As always. Man, I just think, aliens are pretty damn cool. Your views on the conflict and where it's heading? Like I said, I mean, I'd rather just not talk about shit that I don't understand. I'm out of the loop. There's so much falsities that are being tossed around and politicized and virtue signaled, and really all it comes back to is every single authority and news source is lying straight to your face about everything. And it hurts. It hurts a lot. There is no such thing as, the right side in this. There really isn't. Ukraine's not a saint. Russia's not a saint. The United States is not a saint. China's not a saint. Nobody in this entire conflict has moral high ground over anybody. And it just seems like all they're doing is trying to rile up its citizens. The quote that you have to convince the public to believe in blood and treasure. And I think they're pulling out every single card in the book to try to do that, because we don't anymore. It doesn't work like that. I think humanity has come a long way since the last couple hundred years, and these politicians have a hard time rallying up the people to do their bidding anymore, and they're trying to force their hand. And to be honest, I'm pretty terrified. But in the end, it's all good. No matter which way it goes. So. Lots of news and reports about NATO beefing up, looking more and more like full-on war. I don't want to say that to throw Bush on the fire. Fire on the bush, only that we should at least know what to expect. Yeah. Here's what it is. I'm just hoping people pull together and say no. Because there's no reason for this. It's absolutely ridiculous. Isn't it expensive to pay funding rate for 2 weeks? Not really. It's really not. It's maybe like a couple cents per day. It's not expensive at all. Take profit at 150K. Like I said, I just want to have an arbitrary target on there. Because, I could wake up tomorrow and Bitcoin pumps a stupid amount past 52K. Because some socioeconomic disaster. So, hey, relax. My man is doing backflips. And past couple of days, I just kind of been. I haven't been doing much. I've been watching TV. I maybe play a mindless game on the computer, and I've just been running through in my head. What's the correct course of action? Because it all seems to be lose-lose. It really does. I thought about selling my vehicle. That way, if I need extra cash for my family or anything to help them out. But at the same time, I'm gonna get screwed on everything related to that because you sell your vehicle, yeah, you can get more for it, but now all the used cars are also jacked up in price. So it's really just, there's no incentive for that. You know, I don't know. We're gonna figure it out as we go. Lay down. Go lay down. Like, I was, I hate this phrase, but I was on Twitter looking at the backlash from the Stephen Colbert comment where he basically said, like, I own a Tesla, so I'll pay up to $15 for gas. It's no problem for me. And on Twitter, like, the amount of people that don't understand how actual, like, reality works is so insane to me. The fact that you have, like, these people that will go, I don't know why everybody's crying. You can go buy a brand new Tesla for $35,000. No, you can't. All right, you can't even buy a used Tesla for $35,000 right now. People, and as well as that, Tesla costs a lot more on insurance. You don't have a right to repair. Which, if we were like in a better economy and things were smooth, yeah, I mean, if you could afford that, go for it. But not everybody can. People are not going to be able to sell their cars, and if they're stuck with a gas guzzler, and prices go up to, you know, $15 a gallon, which they're pretty damn close. I think LA is up to like what, $7 to $9 or something like that, which is actually insane. So, man, it's not looking pretty at all. But crypto was making me crazy when I tried to day trade because all the bots were trying to screw you constantly. I watched one of your videos a couple weeks ago, and I like the ABC pattern. Thank you, I appreciate that. I like the whole point of the ABC pattern is not that it's a magical pattern that is consistently going to work itself out perfectly. It's just a way to identify what you want in the market and stick to it with good rules and management. And that's what most people are missing. Like, they don't have a definitive plan for what they want from the market. Now, whether or not the market gives it to you is a totally different story. It doesn't have to give it to you. That's not how good trading works. It's just that if it does, it usually works out really damn well. Like I said, for the past couple of months, market really hasn't been giving me what I wanted. But it just takes this one trade, you know, and a couple good scalp head shorts to really just throw things in the right direction. Like I said, I mean, we were sitting at $2,000 2 weeks ago, and now we're up to $4,000. Now, like I said, that is mostly unrealized profit here. I mean, we're sitting in about $900 to $1,000 of unrealized profit. With, you know, I've been looking at the market today. There's really no like hedge positions, so I feel like we're still going to run up. I mean, like, you can say that this is a hedge position. I get that it can definitely dump down here. It's just too small for me to play this. Really too small. So I don't want to get caught up in that. Now, I mean, like, if we do have a decent dump to the downside here and go put in a higher high, yeah, that's something that I might take a hedge trade on. But unless that happens, I'm willing to let all of this profit go. And I'll still be up 50% on the account. So, I mean, I try to... My nose is running today. I'm sorry, guys. I try to look at the bright side of all this. As I said before, war is almost like working out for humanity consciousness. You know, you have to, you know, rip apart your muscles in order to let them heal and let them heal back stronger. And I think we saw that from World War One and World War Two. I mean, you had afterwards, you had straight up hippies that were, roaming the streets. I don't think it's a balance between all those kind of philosophies that makes it work. But when you have outright war and people see the worst of the worst, what true destruction can be like and how devastating it can be, they tend to afterwards treat things a lot better. And I think war is perhaps the greatest tool for spiritual growth for the human consciousness. I know it's a very controversial thing, and I wish that it didn't have to happen. But if it does happen, I do think that is the bright side coming from it. But I don't think it should happen in the first place. I do think it's these politicians just being absolute idiots. Don't know how to run shit. Bunch of playground. And this goes back to what I said before. I don't think there's anything. There's no such thing as adults. No such thing. There's just kids acting like they know what the hell is going on. Until they die. You were a kid the entire time. And I don't get why people don't act like that. Because kids, they don't insert themselves into stuff like adults try to do. They approach things with an open mind, and most of the time that annoys the adults. I think like a kid's favorite word is why. Because they just want to know. They don't care what the answer is. They just say why. Until they find out why. What made you go long? Well, simple as a setup. Alright? Like I said before, it's okay to look at what's happening in the world and on the news and make a decision off of that, but don't let it really ruin everything. For me, I have a plan. I have a way of trading, and nothing will get in the way of that. Not a single piece of information will get in the way of that. So, what made me go long was we had a downtrend that broke into an uptrend that broke into a downtrend. Once we got back above the A, I was long. And there was nothing stopping me from that. And I was looking at the larger macro. I said, okay. Alright. This has the potential to send us back above 41,735, which is the macro A of the larger structure. And if we can stay above that consistently, we have a decent chance of getting back up to the 0.382 to 0.5 region, which is around 52K. And if we're looking at this as a 1 and a 2 structure, we can target the 0.618, the 1.618 as a potential target, which would come out to about 56,000. So our Elliott Wave target is calling for 56,000. Our retracement target for just the ABC structure is calling for 52,000. So I went long, just the way I do things. And I mean, it could have failed catastrophically. It could have failed badly, and it could still fail badly, but that doesn't matter, because if I let being scared dictate how I handle a situation, I'll never make the money in the first place. I've taken hedge trades and made back a lot of, I made more money than I started with. So even if I lose all of the trades I'm currently sitting in, I'll still be up 50% on the account. So that's what it is. The market is too thin right now. Definitely. Yo, Kite, what up, though? I'm long from 39.9, took 20% profits at 41.2, but it does seem we have rejected from 42.7. Stonks selling off before close. Thoughts, please, sir? I mean, I kind of just gave my thoughts. I mean, for me, I can't take a short position right now. There's absolutely nothing of substance on my screen. We are back above the macro A, so technically I'm even more bullish than I was before. And I don't think you should get too antsy over potentially slight pullbacks. Like I showed you at the beginning of the stream, Russian rubles back up to where it started before this whole thing. And what that tells me is that the U.S. is losing its power. So when governments are starting to lose their power, it's going somewhere. It could go to another government, but there is a potential for people to snatch that power back. And I think we saw that with XMR the other day. Quite the pump. Like I told you guys, I think XMR is the only coin that has actually made governments shake in their boots because they really can't do anything about it. Now, obviously, like I said, they can shut off the on-ramps in those specific countries, but they can't do anything about the coin itself and the people that are already using it across the globe, despite what it's being used for. It shouldn't matter that a coin is being used for drugs or not, because everything is. All right, US dollar is majority used for drugs. So it shouldn't bother people that a coin is being used for drugs. It's a free marketplace. If someone wants sovereign control over their own consciousness and make the choice to do something that might be destructive, which there is drugs that are destructive, but there's also many that, if used properly, can be very beneficial on shutting off certain biology aspects that allow you to have more empathy for mankind, which I think a lot more people need right now. So that's why I support Monero wholeheartedly, because I think, besides Bitcoin, it's one of the greatest cryptos on the planet. I've been holding it since $26, and I will continue holding it until every single government has banned it, because that just means it has more power. Catastrophically. Thank you for correcting me. I needed to refresh my vocabulary. Okay, you still have your eye on stocks, AMD, NVIDIA, and Facebook? Yeah, but stocks, I buy them. I walk away. I really don't do much with them. AMD has been one of the ones where I've kind of like paid attention to some of the pullbacks and added a little bit here and there, but for the most part, like I said, I mean, I really don't touch it all that often. Now, let's see. Yeah, Russian ruble's back up 90% in a day. And you haven't heard a single thing about it on the news. But yet, our gas prices over the past 2 days have risen like $2, $3. Yeah, what the fuck is that about? How is XMR different if they both have the same on/off ramp problem? So, like I said, it's as simple as privacy. That's all it is. XMR gives you the option to be private or not. And let me see. It has pretty much the same exact outline as BTC itself. Yeah, so it has almost the same exact amount of coins in circulation. It's pretty much just private Bitcoin. Now, there's plenty of private coins out there, Zcash and everything like that. I choose to back Monero because, do your due diligence. Go onto the dark web, find a place of business, and see what coins they accept. You don't see Zcash on those sites. You see Monero, Litecoin, and Bitcoin. That's it. So, that's where I put most of my money. Because if you look at the past, who adopts the revolutionary technology first. It's always the criminals. Criminals, telephones. Just go back in time. Always criminals. Now, is that right? Maybe not. But is that where the money is? That's where the money is. And that's where my money will be. Like I said, I mean, if they shut off the on-ramps, I already have so much. And like I said, it doesn't stop people from just making private sales. So, is what it is. You can go on to a darknet form. And yeah, it's shady as hell, but that's how they used to do it back in the old days. When people wanted to buy and sell crypto, they would find somebody and they would set up a transaction before there was exchanges to stick their hands in every single transaction. So, is what it is. But would you trade oil if you see an opportunity? Not really. Oil's not my thing. I choose to stay away from it. Ryan, what's going on, man? I don't know how long you you were in here ago, Ryan, but I was talking about how past like 2 to 3 days with this whole us cutting off Russian energy, and about a week before that, we were shouting from the rooftops that our sanctions and our ploys against Russia have crashed their economy, and that the Russian ruble was down 50%, and we screwed Russia. They're on the ropes. Just in the last day, the Russian ruble is back to where it started from. Russian ruble is up, 90% within like the last day. So it just doesn't make logical sense. If what we are doing is causing so much hurt on us, but yet their economy is now almost on the incline for the first time in forever, why are we continuing to do it? It doesn't make sense. And I mean, I don't know if you see what I see, but I see a gigantic ABC on Russia. Russia about to be big booming. I shouldn't say that out loud because maybe Russia's got me wiretapped. I don't mean big booming as in bombs. I just mean big booming as in business. All right. %51 attacks are not real. That's what hard forks are for. If you get 51% attacked, it just takes one dude in his basement with a ledger. And I'm talking about like an actual ledger, not like the Ledger Nano. I'm talking about the ledger of the blockchain. And boom. It hard forks. That is disgusting. Who in their right mind would want to turn this off? Look at that gap. Like, it definitely feels like Russia has the upper hand. It's almost like they bait and switched us. They got us to play into their hand. You know, we stop buying from them. We cripple our own economy because we're not willing to tap into our own resources because a one-page piece of paper called the Green New Deal says no. And then, Biden goes, there's nothing we can do right now. Russians responsible. Russia's not responsible for us not willing to do what needs to be done. It's idiotic. And who thought it was a good idea to be reliant on countries that hate us? God, man. Because Russia's not going to be hurting at all. You got China that buys Russian oil. You got India that buys Russian oil. Two of the biggest economies besides the United States still buy oil from Russia. They don't. Russia doesn't need us. Am I still short on people? I got stopped out of people. Like I said, when I talked to you about this setup right here, I put in the chat that if we came back above, 5.9 cents by like 2 or 3%, I'm gonna stay out of it for now. Because it's a good coin to short when you get into the trade and it starts dumping. But like I said, you have these whales that are manipulating the price. So don't get caught up trying to hold something when it can be easily pumped out of your hands. Now, my best hope is that if this does continue up, hopefully we put in some sort of, downtrend, uptrend, downtrend. Or we put in a higher high over here and I can get another monster short. Because I shorted from here all the way back down to, I forgot where I took profit, but it was somewhere around there. I didn't short the entire thing, but I caught a majority of it. So if I can get another short from up here somewhere, I'll be happy to. Like I said, it's a dead coin. Absolutely dead. Completely abandoned by the developers. The only thing that might... Oh, I was too zoomed in. This was the original trade that I took right here. And I took my profit somewhere around here. The only thing that's like I said, the only thing this coin has hope for is if people continue to buy it for some reason, perhaps the developers come back because they see that there's some sort of interest left in the coin. Which I don't know if that will happen, but like I said, no matter what a coin situation is, you have to have a point where you say enough is enough and you get out of a trade. Otherwise, you just hold trades until you get liquidated and you lose a lot more than you planned on. How about Luna short? Luna. Oh, I see what you're talking about. That's actually a really good setup. Very nice. Thanks for calling that out. And is actually a hedge position that is halfway decent. You got to remember too, this is a 1 hour chart fully zoomed out. So this is definitely a larger setup. And even if we just return back down to possibly just the 0.382 of this structure right here, it's looking like more than a 10 restored ratio trade. The looks of it. Oh yeah, most definitely. It's a 25 with a 1.27% stop loss. So, like I said, I'm still majority bullish on the market. I'm still aiming for 52,000 before any sort of major market rejection, but anything can happen right now in this crazy world that we live in. So hedge your bets when the market throws you something that you can hedge your bets with. And I guess today that seems to be Luna. Now, you do have to be extremely careful with this because, like I said, with these altcoins, even though this is your line of resistance, if we come back down below it, if you want to make big dollars, you are going to have to use a smaller stop loss than you would like on a coin like this. Now, I'm not saying that you should or you have to. As always, you can use a bigger stop loss. It's just you're going to be giving up some decent profit. Usually when I play coins like this, instead of using a much larger stop loss with my typical 2% risk, I'll use like a 1 to 1.5% stop loss with below 1% risk. That way I can get stopped out more times than usual because it's more likely to happen. But if we do win, you have such a large R&R, it's almost like you're making a decent trade on BTC with a decent stop loss because it takes a lot of percentage movement on BTC in order to make a decent amount. I want to set up that conditional now. Really good call. Thank you very much. $97.885. Wait, hold on. 855. Oh, and I don't know if you guys saw, but they haven't added it to the conditional order yet. They added this little thing right here, order by cost or order by quantity on USDT, which, great job, Bybit. Great job. I don't know why you couldn't do that earlier. Now you can actually just put in the USDT amount instead of trying to fat finger in and find out what is equivalent to what. If you are taking market orders, of course, but they haven't added that to the conditionals yet, so unfortunate, but so with this trade, I believe I'm using about invalid parameter. There we go. And have my what's going on? Why is this not working? Strange. Okay, I think I found a glitch. So if on market you switch it to order by cost, it will glitch the conditional order and it won't allow you to input it. Because you saw, like, I kept clicking like 10%, and like this wouldn't change right here, and just ended up getting stuck. I mean, you can see right here, this is a smaller RSI, but you can see higher high, lower high right here. When you look at the 125 RSI. No, that might have been the 125 RSI. No, you got it right here as well. Nice fat divergence. It's actually a really good hedge trade. Like I said, I have this set up so I'm not really using a whole lot of risk here. My unrealized profit, including in the account, brings the account up to about 4,000. I'm using $200 worth of margin, actually like 190, and I'm willing to risk 10% of that with about a 1% stop loss. So I'm only risking about 0.48% of my portfolio. But if I win, I walk away with like what, 400, 500 bucks? If we get back down to about $63. Yeah, that would bring me up to about almost 700. So and like people, like it seems so far-fetched, like when you throw out numbers like this, where it's like, oh, how the hell are we going to go from $98 to $63? How does that work? Like you can't just dump like that. Dude, a little bit over a month ago, we were sitting at 42. Just a month of time can make a huge difference in price action. So us coming down to $48, $63 doesn't seem too unlikely. Now, here's the thing. I didn't go out to the large time frames. You could see the possibility for even further down than $63 on Luna. So who knows? All right, I'm only willing to play that because I don't know that much about Luna. And like I said, I'm still pretty bullish on the market. So we'll see. But if I'm wrong and things do dump, this would be a really, really nice position to be holding to make a couple extra dollars off of while everything shits the bed. And once again, thank you for calling that coin out, because it's not one of the coins I typically look at. I was looking at LTC, Sushi, Ethereum, and nothing really had short setups. But that's a nice, thick boy short. There's nothing to be careful about. I have strict parameters for how I enter. I have a short stop loss, and if price wants to go one way or another, that's up to price action. I take my bets. I let the bets play out. I'm not putting myself at extreme risk, so there's nothing to be worried over. Simply taking a chance. When other people scream from the rooftops that something is bullish and can't dump, I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I'm pretty bullish on the market right now, but a setup is a setup is a setup. And when you are sitting in pretty decent profit on one side of the spectrum like we are, I mean, we're up almost $1,000 in longs. Taking a very, very small risk trade with a large potential makes a lot of sense. if I get stopped out 3, 4, 5 times and then price starts running up to the upside, so be it. I would have lost what? Like $100 versus the $700 I would make if I win the trade. It's all about just making sure you're doing right by your portfolio. That's all it is. I'm gonna go trim my beard down after the live stream. I'm not gonna like completely shave it down, but I am gonna trim it so that I don't feel like pulling it all the time. I mean, that is just a thick boy setup. It's undeniable. I mean, you have a very large bearish divergence with a bearish ABC setup. Like I said, I mean, nothing is ever a guarantee, but I mean, like I said, it's okay to point out things that support your argument, but just understand that if they don't work out, they don't work out. Like yesterday, I'm sure, just like me, there was a lot of people pointing out the fact that we had extreme bullish divergence. But then those same people will not point out the fact that we have extreme bearish divergence on something like Luna. All right, we had lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. You can see that coming from a mile away. I was like, we have extreme bullish divergence. I don't see why we don't have a massive pump to the upside coming up soon. And boom, we did. But you have to point out things that are there. It's the simple facts of the trades. I found it difficult to determine my exit after I'm correct on an ABC. Do you set a profit target at all? If I don't have a profit target set, all right, or one that is close at all, it all comes down to hedging your bets. All right, when I took this long on BTC, where I want to take profit is 52,000. We are very, very far away from that at the moment. So what if everything just crashes and burns? What do? Well, whenever I'm given the opportunity, I take a hedge trade, and I usually target between the 0.382 and the 0.5. All right. Now, lately I've been going for more the 0.618, 0.5 because, like I said, I'm quite bullish. So when it comes down, I take my profit, and then I wait. All right. I'm not freaking out. I'm not, if it dumps more, I'm not, closing my longs. That's the thing. You stick to what you want. All right. You make your bed and you lie in it. All right, don't start freaking out when price action isn't going your way. So we wait, and we go up, just like I wanted. But even though we're so far from where I originally started, I don't deny that it can't go all the way back there. So when I'm given the opportunity and I see an ABC formation at the top of the C point, I'm starting to look for shorts. So I go with this one. I take my short. I short it down, I take profit at a predestined point, and it dumps more. Did I try to FOMO into a short on Bitcoin? Did I close my longs? No, because I have a plan and I know what I want. All right. Off of that short and that short, I made like $500. All right. So I'm sitting in profit already. Why would I be freaking out over the last $200 that's in the account when it comes to Bitcoin? Bitcoin was in $200 worth of profit when we were right here. Why would I be freaking out about that $200 when I just made $500 off the shorts? That's the thing. All right. And then I wait and we come back up. Now you got to have, a little bit of discipline. Right now, there is no real, short setups. You can go down to the 1 minute time frame if you want and cry that we have a 1 minute ABC. And I'm not saying that can't bring us back down to the downside. Just to me, it's too small. You can't be playing on time frames like that when you have loftier goals for the market. That's why when someone mentioned Luna, and I look at Luna, and I'm on a 1 hour time frame, fully zoomed out, by the way, that's the key to everything. And I'm on that large perspective, and I see a nice, juicy, consistent ABC with a bearish divergence. Of course, I'll take that trade. There's a huge difference between what's happening on Luna and what's happening on BTC. And even if Luna doesn't work out, it's as simple as I'm taking a chance on a legitimate setup because we never know how the market's going to actually go. And if I can make up for some of the losses of unrealized profit on some of the other trades I'm in through Luna, I'm more than happy. And if I lose Luna, that probably means all the other coins are pumping anyways. So no harm, no foul. See? That's how you hedge properly for stress-free situations. How do you use Bybit even with a VPN that said I can't use it? I'm not quite sure because I mean I have a VPN on and I'm using it. I didn't do anything special. I wonder if this works. I'm going to try to turn off all my lights real quick, which might look weird. But, my hoodie's glow in the dark, so I want to see if it works. Nah, it's not working. Show RSI settings. Is it me or is your camera a little bit out of focus? I don't think so. It has something to do with the scaling, which I don't know exactly how to fix. Nice, Cody. What stock was it? Glad it worked out. So like I said, ABCs. The reason why I trade them is there is a little bit more consistency in the market with them. That like you can infer that you're gonna have like at least the 0.38 2.5 retracement. But more importantly, it like I said, it just gives you a plan. You know exactly where you want to be in the trade and when you don't. And that, more importantly than anything, it just allows you to do so much. Have a stop loss so you can select how much leverage you want to use or how much of your portfolio you want to use if you're not using leverage. Just all that. And that's what most people are missing, because most people just kind of just go willy-nilly. Oh, I'm super bullish on the market, so instead of using 5x leverage this time, I'll use 15x leverage. And they don't do the math on how much of their margin is actually affected by that. So, and then as well as that, they might not have a stop loss. So they choose whether or not to exit the trade based off of how they feel. Oh, I think it's going to turn back around here. So you just can't do that because you are stupid. Humans are terrible when it comes to using their own biological emotions to determine whether or not to do something smart. That's why whenever it came to religion, it was always about turning off biology, because the only time you can really open up and make smart decisions is when you get rid of the physical biology that makes us. That's why I said, write the code for the robot that is you, run it. If it doesn't work and it sucks, that's not your problem. All right? You run it until it is provably not working, and then you adjust the code and you run it again. Over and over and over and again. And you need to run it for a very long time because, like I said before, I'm sure there's many people that tried out ABCs over the last couple of months, got their asses handed to them, even though there was a good couple trades, and they go, it doesn't work. And then me, I trade. I get my ass handed to me here, make a little bit here over the course of the last couple of months, and then finally, a couple trades come my way, and boom, blast off. The account's considerably in profit. I don't know what more I can prove. That's all. Hey man, new here. What sort of strategy are you using to take your trades? It's an alteration of Elliott Wave. Basically, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, I just focus on ABC structures. That's all. So the ideology is I do think that Elliott Wave is accurate. I just think that people pay too much attention to the parts that don't matter. So like with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structure is typically the 1 and the 2 create an uptrend, and then the 4 will break the uptrend, and then the 5 will retest the uptrend, and then usually you have, the following retracement afterwards. So instead of focusing on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we combine the 1, 2, and the 3, and then we leave the 4 and the 5, and we're left with an uptrend, a downtrend, an uptrend. And then once we come back below the A or back above the A, we go long or we go short. That's how I trade. It's like right here. I'm sure there was a lot of people that were waiting for a fifth wave. They would have got screwed. Because you have 1, 2, and they were like, okay. And they think that's going to work itself out. But it was just an ABC. So once I have 3 structures, a big pullback can happen. So I start hedging my bets. So right here, I hedge my bets. Now I took my position right here, but pretty much same. Does this consolidation on BTC after dump from 69K look a lot like the end of 2017? No, not at all. At least not to me. Because 2017, we did not even come close to putting in a higher high after the first major pullback. Right here, I mean, that was a 56% pullback, and we still put in a new higher high. Now, I mean, if we're looking at this as a possibility of a gigantic ABC pattern, all right, like I said, when you're dealing with very, very large time frames, like the weekly or the, like this, it really doesn't make sense to use log scale. So, right here, we're just taking the last major low. I mean, we've already come back down into the 0.5, 0.382 territory. So, yes, could there be further dump? Absolutely. I'm never denying that. But we are in the region where we could see a very large rebound to the upside in terms of retest. Like I said, 52K, that's all I'm asking for. I'm not saying that we're going to go 250,000 on this next run to the upside. Could anything happen? Of course. But I think 52K is a respectable number for us to retest. At that point, it's any man's game. It could turn into a gigantic head and shoulders, or it could turn into one gigantic AB, and we're waiting for that gigantic C wave to come back down and retest 28,000, 29,000, or possibly even lower. All right, so that's all I'm doing is playing the odds. That's all it is. I think 52K is absolutely respectable. You look at this right here. I mean, it just makes sense. All right. We have this little head and shoulders right here. We've pretty much hit our target because the target was only the length of the arm. We don't necessarily have to go all the way the length of the arm. So now we're coming back up to retest the structure. And if we fail again, we can of course move lower than the first test. So it's all in due time. We'll see what happens. See what happens. I'm blazed, by the way. Sorry, man. I can't blame you right now. The world's in such a screwed up state. I don't see why most people aren't running away from it. Whether that be psychologically or literally. Thanks for your guidance. Wonder if you could tell me how to measure using Fibonacci from where to where. For me, I drag from the top or bottom of the C wave to the beginning of my A wave, which is technically backwards, but I'm used to using the 1.618 as a target from Elliott Wave, so I'd rather do it that way. All right, guys. All right, we're gonna say goodbye for today. I got a little more stuff to do around the house, and figured I streamed for almost 3 hours yesterday, so we'll keep it short and sweet today. Just want to give you a couple updates, and if I didn't log on today, who told me about Luna? Was it? It looks like a Russian name. Vojita, I don't know how to say it. I'm so sorry. But whoever mentioned Luna, thank you very much. Because like I said, I mean, to me, it doesn't really matter if it works itself out. It's what matters is it's a legitimate setup and it's a very decent time frame. So if you were looking at that, I'm sure that you are a lot better off than most people that try to get me to play on these 2-minute time frame setups. So thanks for just being a decent person and looking at a time frame that actually matters. All right, guys, let's pick some songs and head off for today. I hope you guys have great days and just make the most out of every single day from this point on, because it seems like people just want to ruin the niceties that are in the world right now. I'm going to play some Ray Gorn. I'm going to play Revolution by Ray Gorn. And I'm going to play... and Life Spins Madly On. So I'm going to add those 2 songs to the playlist. If you guys like them, check him out. He's kind of like an unfound artist. So I'll give him a listen if you like what he's got going on. Kind of reminds me of like the Beatles and stuff like that with some of his songs. But all right, guys, I appreciate your time. Let's go ahead and do the thing. Log off, and I will see you guys on Friday. Let's do it. Oh, also, I'll be, of course, on Ryan's channel tomorrow. I'm sure that's still the plan, and there'll be a $200 giveaway. I look forward to seeing you there. So let's stare deeply into each other's eyes until I decide to ghost you, like all relationships. Bye.
Does religion save as much as it kills? Our country's just gains in political fields. Is war just a business we pay for in blood? Screaming, I don't wanna die, mama, I'm too young. As the preacher preach, but don't do as he preach. Politician talk, but don't walk how we speak. The most expensive things in life come free. You can pay for a bed, but you can't pay for sleep. It's a revolution. It's a revolution. Change gon' come and it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Chase coin to the grave, but it stays in the bank. Slave all your life to a green paper chain. Work 9 to 5 till your hair turns gray, and you can buy back the time with a check you were paid. World leaders quest to conquer and divide, ruling by fear so the vote won't run dry. I just wanna live and be loved. I just wanna live before I die. It's a revolution. It's a revolution. Change gon' come and it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. It's a revolution. It's a revolution. Change gon' come and it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Wonder, wonder, wonder. Wonder, wonder, wonder. Love, division, world, suspicion, hope, politician, money, money, love, division, greed, collision, fake, politician, money, money, love. Life spins madly on. Yesterday I walked on a bed of roses. Today I walk through a field of landmines. Tomorrow, I step into the unknown. Where does all the time go? Does anyone know? Bang, 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 about to explode. Bang, 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 about to explode. Bang, 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 about to explode. Bang, 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 I'm losing control. Yesterday I walked on a bed of roses. Today I got caught up in a landslide. Tomorrow, I don't know where the wind will blow. Where does all the time go? Does anyone know? Hello, can anybody hear me? I'm trapped in a submarine underneath the ocean. Hello, is anybody listening? Can you hear me on the radio? I don't wanna die on this ship alone. Mayday, my fuel is running low. The engine room is flooded. I know it won't be long before I capsize. I know I am gonna be alright. I know I will make it out alive somehow. In this madness, I'm gonna take this sadness and be happy again. Madness, I'm gonna take this sadness and make friends with my head.